going to be completely honest and say that I really don't feel like filming right now, but I'm going to do it anyway because this is a project that I care about a lot and I'm going to see through until the end. But that being said, I'm dressed a lot more casually today. Our tea today, again, is English breakfast because I need something to wake me up really fast. I'm not wearing any lipstick right now or a hat. I'm tired, and so bear with me. Cheers. So anyway, today we're discussing chapters 36 through 42 of A Time to Kill by John Grisham. Today is day 6 of Banned Book Week, and as I said, I'm really not feeling super well and I'm tired, so I'm going to try and make this quick, but we are sort of at the climax of the book, and so there is a lot to talk about. And so the first, probably the biggest thing I want to talk about is like the threats and like acts of violence towards Jake, Ellen, and the other guy, Acker, who is the African-American alternate for the jury for Carl Lee's case. And so Jake's house is burnt down. First of all, that's probably the biggest thing that happened in this section. Second of all, Ellen was kidnapped by the KKK and like threatened and like tortured. However, the informant, is that what it's called? His like nickname is Mickey Mouse. I forget what like they call him. Like I think he's like the informant or like the insider or whatever, but he's like the guy who reports things to Ozzy and the police and all of that. So he gets her out of that. Acker, as I mentioned, is the black alternate for the jury. He is threatened in the hallway as he is at the vending machine. And lastly, I mentioned our insider of the KKK, Mr. Mickey Mouse, was also actually killed because I guess the KKK figured out that he was snitching. And so yeah, that was actually where the chapter ended. I highlighted right there. And so those were the violent acts and threats that happened in this section. How many pages do we have left? I have about 20 pages left, but this is like a mass market paperback edition, so in your edition there might be fewer, or I guess in your edition there could be more too, but I don't know. But anyway, so I'm not sure if there'll be any more in the last 2 chapters, but we'll just have to wait and see. Another thing I want to touch on is we're kind of in the midst of the trial here, and both sides bring in a psychiatrist, and if you don't remember, they're trying to get Carl Lee off with a plea of insanity, and so they need like psychiatrists to evaluate him and stuff like that, and so the state has one, and then Jake and Carl Lee have one. Jake and Carl Lee's one obviously says like he was insane at the time, and the state guy says otherwise. However, they point out that the state guy is has been used to evaluate supposedly insane criminals before, and as far as records go, he has never had a person on trial that he has said has been insane. He's always said this person has not been insane, and so that's kind of questioning the validity of him, but people are also questioning the guy that Jake and Carl Lee have, because he's not very good, or so people think. We're not really sure as readers, but the jury doesn't really think he's very good, and Jake and Carl Lee just took what they could afford, and so that's what they have, and yeah. The jury is the other big thing that I wanted to touch on. At first they like took a vote, like, you know, do you think he's guilty or not guilty, or are you undecided? And almost everyone was either undecided or not guilty, and the black alternate Acker was the one person who said not guilty. That was just in their first like dry run vote. That wasn't their actual verdict thing just before they got started talking. They were just like out of curiosity, who thinks this, who thinks this, who thinks that. And so that's kind of where they stand on that. Before we found out that Jake and Carly did not get the jury that they wanted, and so that was kind of anticipated that they would think that way. But how they will actually vote, we will find out tomorrow. One thing I forgot to write down but want to quickly mention is Looney. He is questioned in the witness stand, and he says that Carly should be forgiven and let go. Like, he forgave him for shooting him in the leg, and the people should do the same. And I think that's something really honorable of him, since he did lose a leg over this. But I don't know, I respect him for that. Like, we don't really get a ton about Looney in, like, the narrative as far as, like, who he is as a person and what his story is, other than the whole, like, leg amputation thing. However, I do think it does show something about his character, and I think we as readers should respect him for that, and I think we as readers should consider forgiving Carly too. And I think I have. I agree a lot with finding, not necessarily him not guilty because he did kill people, obviously, but you know, I get where he's coming from, along with several characters in this book. So I think I'll end it there. Tomorrow we're finishing the book, as I said, the last 2 chapters, 43 and 44, and we're also discussing the book as a whole and why people challenge it and why it should be a part of our lives. So yeah, sorry this was a bit groggy. It's probably not going to be edited as much as the other videos. As I said, I'm tired, I'm not feeling well. And so hopefully I will be better for tomorrow. Anyways, let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Specs, hugs, rock and roll. Love you.